Xavi has been sacked by Barcelona. Ten Hag got fired by Manchester United, even after winning the FA Cup.
Thank you.
Jurgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool
I'm completely surprised. I thought I'm already in pieces, to be honest.
amid rumors of deeper issues beyond just poor results. And Thomas Tuchel was reportedly given the boot at Bayern Munich for angering players and causing dressing room drama. What on earth is going on in the world of football? Why are so many elite managers at massive clubs suddenly getting sacked or quitting themselves? A disturbing pattern has recently emerged, and we're here to spill the secrets with exclusive insider info. Let's start with the German manager who took Liverpool to new heights, Jurgen Klopp. When he announced he was leaving Anfield 2 years before his contract was up, it stunned the football world. But why did Klopp decide to say goodbye out of nowhere?
I will leave the club at the end of the season.
The official line was that he was running out of energy and needed a break. But according to former Liverpool player Jose Enrique, there's a much juicier story behind Klopp's exit. Enrique claims that Klopp had grown sick and tired of having to work miracles with limited funds from the club's owners FSG. You see, despite transforming Liverpool into Premier League champions and Champions League winners, FSG was incredibly tight with their money. Enrique alleges Klopp felt betrayed and let down by the lack of financial backing to strengthen the squad each season. He had to overachieve on a shoestring budget against free-spending rivals like Manchester City. The infamous January 2023 transfer window may have been the final straw for Klopp. Despite desperately needing reinforcements, Liverpool made no marquee signings while City splashed the cash. Enrique believes this lack of ambition from the owners pushed Klopp to walk away while he was ahead. But there could be even more to this dramatic exit. Some whispers suggest a heated behind-the-scenes power struggle between Klopp and the FSG hierarchy over player recruitment and spending. Maybe the owner's preference for low-cost purchases conflicted with Klopp's desire for proven star talent. As the legendary German departs, speculation is rife over his next move. Will he take a well-earned break from the pressures of top-level management, or could he be lured by one of the newly rich clubs able to back him with unlimited funds? One thing's for sure, Liverpool is losing an icon, and replacing him will be no easy task. Speaking of losing an icon, a similar story is brewing in Barcelona. Xavi's sudden sacking stunned everyone after Barca literally begged him to stay. So what went wrong for the Barcelona legend Xavi Hernandez during his brief spell as manager? Officially, Barca said it was lack of trophies and poor results behind Xavi's dismissal. But were there deeper issues that caused the board to lose patience with the Barca icon? According to inside reports, Xavi had completely lost the faith of the dressing room by the end. Star players like Rafinha, Araujo, Koundé, and even top scorer Lewandowski were utterly disillusioned with Xavi's management and tactics. There are whispers of him making bizarre and confusing decisions that players struggled to understand. For example, the players were supposedly furious over Xavi's ineffective training methods that left the squad looking sluggish and drained toward the end of matches. Despite voicing concerns, Xavi reportedly ignored advice to change things up. There are also rumors of Xavi breaking promises made to certain key players over game time and roles within the team. If he misled big names and failed to show them respect, it's easy to see why a dressing room revolt could have occurred. But perhaps the biggest issue was simply that Xavi looked completely out of his depth trying to manage a squad of Barca's caliber and profile. Despite his iconic playing career, he may have lacked the experience and tactics to control huge egos and inspire underperforming players. As Xavi leaves, we're all left wondering if the Barca hierarchy made a mistake giving their childhood hero such huge responsibility before he was even ready. It's been a wild few months, with numerous legendary managers getting the axe for disturbing reasons. Stick around until the end as we uncover the full story. Moving on, we have the nightmare scenario that unfolded during Thomas Tuchel's short spell in charge of Bayern Munich. This was supposed to be a dream job for the highly rated German coach, but it quickly turned into a horror show that has left his reputation in tatters. The official line from Bayern was that Tuchel's exit after less than a season was simply part of a sporting realignment by the club's new leadership. But that's just corporate talk. The truth is far messier and more controversial. You see, word from inside the Bayern dressing room is that Tuchel managed to push away and anger the majority of the senior playing squad during his brief tenure. Dressing room sources have told that he constantly questioned and undermined the players' mentalities, credentials, and leadership qualities. For a start, Tuchel was reportedly dead set on breaking up Bayern's central midfield partnership of Kimmich and Goretzka. This controversial move certainly didn't go down well with the squad, who could see it made no sense to break up such an established winning midfield duo. But Tuchel ignored any disagreement and decided to carry out his plan regardless of what the players thought. His tactical decisions were also a source of constant frustration, especially his overly defensive approach. Players are understood to have been angered by Tuchel's instructions for them to retreat into a defensive shell once Bayern had taken the lead in matches. For an attack-minded team like Bayern, prioritizing damage limitation over going for the kill clearly did not sit well. It's been claimed this safety-first approach contributed to dropping many unnecessary points, which resulted in losing the league for the first time in 11 years. With the relationship between Tuchel and his players beyond repair, the writing was on the wall. Now here's another very controversial exit that's also happened this season. Manchester United, the once mighty giants who have been in shambles for far too long now. And Ten Hag is the latest victim of the chaos and turmoil that seems to endlessly engulf this club. Well, the shocking rumors are that despite winning the FA Cup as a consolation, the Dutchman is still set to be sacked at the end of the season in a huge call by the new owners. But why on earth would United want to sack their hand-picked rescuer? Well, word is there could be a couple of huge reasons behind this drastic decision. Firstly, it seems the new minority owners, Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, are already clashing badly behind the scenes with Ten Hag over the club's future direction and philosophy. Despite publicly backing the manager upon their arrival, sources suggest Ratcliffe and his team were shocked by Ten Hag's outspoken criticism of United's past player recruitment failures and lack of elite-level investment. It's been claimed that these kinds of comments have alienated Ten Hag from his new bosses, who expected more diplomacy from their appointed leader. There are also rumors of conflicts between the Dutchman and the club's older influential players who are part of United's successful era under Sir Alex Ferguson. Stories suggest that Ten Hag has had difficulty asserting authority over United's talented but underperforming players. It seems Ten Hag's attempt to instill much-needed discipline, hard work and accountability at the club have ruffled more than a few feathers in the dressing room. Senior players are said to be unhappy with his strict approach and management style of my way or the highway. Ten Hag has been absolutely scathing about the lack of professionalism, commitment and winning mentality that has plagued United in recent years. When asked in an interview on why he's being sacked despite winning the FA Cup, he responded with, "When the players aren't available, I can't coach or train them, they won't develop," proving that there's some underlying hidden issue between him and the players. Stars like Rashford, Sancho and Martial are said to have taken great offense at having their attitudes repeatedly publicly questioned. Veteran pros were apparently angered by Ten Hag's willingness to drop them or freeze them out for ill discipline or poor form. While Ten Hag should be acknowledged for attempting to change United's problematic player power culture, his management style seems to have turned most of the dressing room against him. Trying to challenge so many big egos at once might have been a doomed strategy. And the next manager who's on the list of brutal sackings this year is a bigger shock than this one. Jose Mourinho and his legendary time at Roma. This was certainly no ordinary job for the special one. In the Eternal City, his personality reached new heights, with his face plastered all over the walls in street art. Mourinho well and truly gripped the Italian capital, but it all came crashing down in equally spectacular fashion as he was suddenly given the boot by the club's ownership. Just what went so badly wrong here? Well, Roma tried to play it all diplomatically, thanking Mourinho for his passion and effort in a statement confirming his dismissal was for the best interest of the club. But you can be sure there's a far juicier story lurking behind that PR fluff. Rumors suggest that Mourinho had deeply upset the club's wealthy American owners, Dan and Ryan Friedkin, due to his constant requests for more investment to improve a squad that he felt was not meeting his high standards. You see, for all his European trophy successes during his stint in Rome, Jose was left bitterly underwhelmed by Roma's domestic struggles and a lack of sustained Serie A title challenge. This just didn't cut it for a born winner of his stature and ambition. He became angered and disillusioned by the Friedkins' lack of willingness to back him with signings and provide the funds to build a true heavyweight contender. And here was yet another example of an owner not matching the manager's ambitions and expectations for a project. We're definitely starting to see a pattern here. How could he be expected to achieve more with such limited resources? With Mourinho unable to hide his anger at the ownership, an ugly standoff emerged and led to his inevitable exit. Amid the chaos, one question remains: what's next for the superstar managers? Will they take a break or be snapped up to recreate past glories? Jurgen Klopp might take a break until Newcastle, backed by Saudi cash, tries to lure him. Xavi's struggles at Barcelona raise doubts about his elite-level potential, likely requiring him to rebuild his career. Tuchel could quickly resurface in the Premier League, possibly at West Ham. Ten Hag and Mourinho have swapped reputations, with Ten Hag now seen as a risky disciplinarian and Mourinho overachieving at Roma. With manager sackings continuing, only a few will bounce back. For the rest, it's either retirement or rebuilding their reputations. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. And while all this is happening, there's something even scarier happening with Kylian Mbappe, so make sure to watch this video next.